Hey, my coding family, how's everybody doing tonight? I hope y'all got your thinking caps on today. We're going to continue with the 6000s. I got some more examples for today. How's everybody doing? Is it fall already? Is summer over with? Oh my gosh. Hey Patrice. Hey K4. Hey Christine. Hey Royal. My Florida friend. Hey Go Kart. Good to see you. Hey Rotunda. Let's see. Eva. First time. Hey, how are you doing? Today's going to be super fun. Yes, please give thumbs up or taps or shares for the live. Your interactions help out a whole bunch. Hey Christine. Hey Mabel. Hey Taylor. Good to see you guys. Fagan, how are you doing? I drove 9 hours from Florida. Glad I made it. Awesome, Dana. I'm so glad you made it too. Driving just puts me right to sleep. I have to listen to audiobooks to stay awake. I used to never get sleepy in the car, but the older I get, I can get sleepy. So if I put on an audiobook, like Harry Potter or some mystery, then I'm good. I can drive for days. You listen to Medical Coding Podcast? I've got some of those. I've got the 2025 podcast going on right now. It's on YouTube. And then I've got the E&M guidelines in a podcast form too. Yay, I'm so glad you made it. All right. Anybody got any questions for me tonight? Anything bugging y'all you're having issues with? Any trouble areas? Hey, Tiki Talk, how's it going? Thank you for the roses, Sparkle. Good to see you. Thank you so much for the gifts. Y'all ready to get started with some practice questions, or I'm just checking chat? Not so far. All right, awesome. And then check YouTube again. Total parathyroid versus partial parathyroid. That is a really good exam area, and it's always on the exam. God, my voice sounds terrible today. Versus partial. Okay. I'm hyper-focused. Let's get started on the 6000s, and then I'll bring up the parathyroid and the partial thyroid. But definitely a big area that's always on the exam, for sure. Let me get this over here and up out of the way. Them darn notes of mine. There we go. Got it. And then we're looking at 6-3s. We've got 3 of them that are 6-3-6. 2 of them, one of them's a 6 and one of them's an 8. So 6-3, 6-6-1 is probably where I'd go first. These codes will definitely be on the exam. set of questions. Hold on just a second. Let me make sure I got the right set up, because I think we already did these. We did these the other day. We're looking for the new set that I prepped for today. So let me get down there to those. They are going to be way down here. Yep, they're down here. Here we go. This is the new set. We did that other set the other day. Yesterday, if you missed yesterday's live on YouTube, it is available to watch. But let me get this a little bit smaller for you guys so it can all fit on the screen. There we go. Hopefully. Sorta. There we go. Now we got it all. So 670s. Are we a 40, a 39, or an 05? And let me show you guys on YouTube real quick too. If by chance you guys are on my website, medicalcodingbyjen.com, if you go to the social media tab, of course, and you go to the YouTube page, to find the live that I did yesterday on Sunday, just click on the live tab right there. And then it's got them all in order. So this was Sundays, this was Fridays, this was Wednesdays, and so forth. They just go backwards. They're all right there. Don't forget about the shorts. That's got a lot of practice questions I've been pushing out lately just to help give you guys 10 seconds to look at a question, you know. And then the podcast are listed underneath the podcast. There's 2 sets. And the playlist is a great area to find all the book prep videos and old workshops. And if you want to watch me make my notes and go code by code, just go to the CPT book prep and then click the bottom link that says view the full playlist. And then you can see all the list of the videos, so you can pick out which section you want to watch. So super helpful. And let's get back to this question. So, are we a 670? Where are we at? Our eyes. 670, 40 or 39? What's going on there? What header are we under? 670, 40 is a child code. We can't do anything with it. We got to go to its mama code, which is what code? 670. What code is its mama code? $36, yes. 36 is mama. It will tell you what's all inside of it. And then for our 39, same thing. It's a child code. Its mama is the 36. If we're at 67105, that's a child code too. Its mama is 67101. So you got to look at these 2 codes first. to see which set of codes you would be under first. We did do this. And you can tell that the O1 does not mention that. It's a repair. And that word is with 36. So it could be A, B, or C. That gets you there. This gets you to where that one is eliminated. Now you just need to figure out, would I use the left modifier or would I use the 50 modifier? What's our 50 modifier? It's for bilateral procedure. Did we do this bilaterally? Or did we only do it on the right or just the left? That might help you because then you could eliminate things. If you're looking for just similarities, you know, the same answer is in A and B, right? And then it's just a diagnosis. Are we in the E's, which is what? Central system, circulatory system, and then the H's is for ear and mastoid diagnoses. What are we dealing with today? Are we dealing with an ear or are we dealing with diabetes? And we do have diabetic right here. So even if you didn't know what the difference was with the CPT codes, you could do this by just looking for the answers that have the same answer in them and then have the one difference of the diagnosis. And just looking to see what the chapter header stands for, just the H is for ear and E is for our endocrine, right? Our diabetes. And then we match our diabetic word right there. And then those are the only two words that I looked in the question for. The point of being able to pass a national certification is to not read the questions, to go to the answers, and based off what the answers are, what is the fastest, most efficient way to correctly pick out the correct answer? Probably noting that 3 of the answers have the E in them. It's a good similarity to look for. And then noting that 2 of the answers have the same CPT code. That would have gotten you straight to answer A without looking at anything in the operative note at all. But if you're scared to do that, you can at least limit it to where you only look up 2 words. We do have some rationale here. Okay, Christine, it is not B because we are dealing with eyes, not ears. Retinopathy is eyes, anything in the H's. Isn't that when we look at our header in our ICD-10 book? everything that starts out with the H is diseases of the ear and mastoid process. Well, I'm looking at H60. I wonder, maybe H35 is I. Maybe I just got lucky because I picked a back H. Yeah, H is diseases of the eye. But what causes the eye damage? It wasn't a disease inside the eyeball. The eyeball didn't automatically have it. What caused the disease in the eye? It was the diabetes. The eye would be normal if it wasn't for being diabetic. That's why it's not an eye condition and not an H35. You have to code the diabetic retinopathy, which is your E code. Because if you're going to pick an H code, then it has to be a diagnosis of the eye that originated in the eye without any kind of other issues that caused it, if that makes sense. Yay, good. That's why we picked the diabetic. All right. It's not going to be C, that's right. It's definitely not C because of the left. Yep. All right. Here's our next one. This is a case. It's going to be 3 pages long. Let me check on James for a second. What are you watching? Okay, we'll get off of it. No anime. If you're going to watch the reporter guy, that's fine, but nothing else. Oh. All right. Next one. We've got all of the answers have the 67036 in them, but only one answer has a left in it. Are we dealing with the left eye or are we dealing with the right eye? Well, sorry, only one of them has the RT right there, and that's C. And you can tell everything's got left in it. So probably right away we could get rid of C just by looking at modifiers. Now, would we have done 2 procedures? Okay. Would we need 1 diagnosis or 2 diagnoses? Would we need LT modifiers? I guess we do on our 3-6 because it's on every single answer. But we do have a difference of our second code that needs the 5-9, not the LT. What's our normal pattern when we're looking at CPT codes? If they are doing a similar procedure in the same section, we do need to give them usually a 59 modifier to say that yes, we're doing a distinct different procedure. So my hunch is we'll get rid of D2 just by looking for normal patterns. And then our difference between these 2 answers is just an H44-1 or an H44-0 in our diagnosis. Our post-operative diagnosis is that. So we could probably just find this one out by just looking at our diagnoses. H44. H44. H44 002 is unspecified. H4419 is other. Are we unspecified or are we other? You can see the rest of the case, but I don't think it'll help you much because all you need is the diagnosis. But it is 3 pages. But we've already got our CPT codes. It's a disorder of the globe. You got to know if this is purulent or not, or if it's a different type. What do you guys think? Good job. Good job. Good job. Good to see you. Hey, Shelly Gonzalez. I usually go live between 4 and 4:30, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Yep. Myra, we're definitely going to use those LT modifiers. Absolutely. All right, here's our next one. Are we a 60-22-0, a 60-24-0, or a 60-26-0? Two of them have the 60, and then it's just a difference between modifiers. So I'd run to that one first. Let's go see. 602, what's going on there? $602.60. Here's a thyroidectomy. We were talking about parathyroid and partial, getting kind of close in these. This thyroidectomy removes all remaining thyroid tissue following a previous removal of a portion of a thyroid. Did this patient already have a previous surgery? Yes, they did. So we know we're in the right area. Would we need to add the RT or a 50 modifier to this one? Our differences are our second code. 60512 is under an excision header. Our 60220 is under the header of excision also. (60512) is an add-on code for a parathyroid auto transplantation. 60220 is not an add-on code. It's a separate procedure for a total thyroid lumpectomy. What did we do today? Today we're doing the right side thyroidectomy, and we're doing a total left thyroidectomy. The parathyroid gland is separated from the thyroid tissue and was replanted. If we did this, it's 2 procedures. If we did this one, it's 3 procedures. Can you bill 2 mama codes? If you look at your 60260, it starts out with the word thyroidectomy. If you look at your 60220, it says total thyroid lumpectomy. These are 2 mother codes, 2 procedures. We would have to say that this patient has 2 different places that these surgeries are being done, and that they're separate surgeries. If we were to combine these and add that 59 modifier, because they're both parent codes, they are indented closest to the CPT code number. They don't have a plus symbol in front of it. They're not something that you normally add on to something. If you're going to do a main procedure and then you're going to do something else additionally, that's why we have the children codes that are underneath them, or we have add-on codes in the section. Normally you can do 2 mamas together, but you better have 2 of that body part, like a right and a left. How many thyroids do we have? This is a total thyroidectomy, including all the remaining thyroid tissue. This is a total thyroid lumpectomy. Do we have 2 thyroids we can work on in 2 separate parts of the body that require independent surgeries? That's how you think about this kind of stuff. This one has the parathyroid in it, which is labeled right there in the question. We did a total thyroidectomy, left and right, and then we also did a parathyroid, which is our add-on code, which can be added to main codes, ones that are indented closest to the numbers. So that lets you know which answer it is, right? So what answer do you guys think now? Great, Paula. I'm so glad you're here. Hopefully I can help you. Because I don't see any correct answers on YouTube. What do we see on this one? See, guys, look. Okay. If we are going, I know this is a hot mess. It's an old book. But if we are doing the 60260, which is in D, and 60220, which is in D, they're both parent codes. And if we were going to do a total thyroid lumpectomy and a total, right here, a thyroidectomy, a patient would have to have 2 thyroids. How many thyroids do we have? This thyroidectomy removes all remaining thyroid tissue, whether it's a lump, whether it's right side, left side, whatever. This is your thyroidectomy. In the chart, we see we also separated and moved around the parathyroid glands, which over here in this add-on code, which has the plus symbol in front of it, the 60512 has parathyroid autotransplantation, plantation. It's just like a transplant. We just moved it around. Auto means self. We didn't put in somebody else's parathyroid. We took the patient's auto because the patient's in the auto, driver's seat, right? Auto means it's the patient's body part, and we transplanted it. We moved it around. So that's why the 60512, which is only in answer C. But also, you can't do D unless you have 2 separate thyroids on a patient. Not that some people can't grow them. They're just trying to see if you understand that the 60 already includes the 220. They're all it's all included. This one and this one are included. And you only needed to find out, did you need to have 3 codes or 2 codes? And you know, more often than not, if it's a difference between 2 CPT codes or 3 CPT codes, always pick the smaller amount. Always. This one section you're lost in? Gotcha. Me too. I've been getting a lot of these questions wrong, and there's a lot of them that the answer is wrong on Quizlet too. And that's what I was finding today. I found one of the questions that I think we've been teaching for a couple of years completely wrong, and I realized today that, oh yeah, that's totally wrong. That's not the correct answer, and what Quizlet has is totally wrong. There's no rationale with it on Quizlet, and there's none published online. So be very skeptical when you are playing around in Quizlet. Look to try to find people that actually post the rationale with those. If they don't, then that is just their guess as to what the answer is. So don't take that as being true. And also, this section seems to be really highly guarded by paywalls. If you want to know what's going on inside these codes, It's not listed in a blog anywhere. No one has written a report on it and told you. There's no information unless you go to the CMS website and pull down the rules and the NCCI edits to find out what's inside a certain code in this section. And I think a lot of the exam people like ahima and aapc know that, and they try not to write too many blogs about some of this stuff so that they know this is an area that you might get wrong. But just know that if you're doing 60260, a thyroidectomy that removes all remaining tissue, then you're already doing everything that's on this page underneath excision, from the 60100 all the way to that code. It's just, we're doing it all. The only unique thing with this one is that this patient had previous surgery that had already removed a portion of the thyroid previously. That's unique to 60. If the patient had never had a prior surgery, it would have been the 52 code. Yep. Everything is gone. Yep. And don't forget, like this question and the one before it, if you guys aren't going to your ICD-10 book, right here, our H44, you should be going to the H44 part, wherever we're at. 84400 001, right here. You need to put down that they called this particular diagnosis equals just the ENDOPHTHALMITIS left eye. Our answer was this one, and we're going to code it with a 67036 with an LT, and then we're also going to code it with a 66030 with a 59 and an LT. Now, I wrote all that down in this ICD-10 book, and I circled the code that was our diagnosis code. But I'm also going to go to those two CPT codes, the 67036 LT and the 66030, and we're going to rewrite the example with the diagnosis code there too. If you ever want to learn what modifiers you normally see and be able to catch errors, like do I need the 59 to be on my second code? What would it look like if I don't need it? When is there circumstances when I don't? And how you know what it's going to look like is by repetition of rewriting these answers, right? The only way I ever learned that the second code, if they're two mama codes, needs that 59 modifier is if we're doing two different eyes, right? So we're going to go, where is my eye one for this one? This is 660. 660. We're going to be over here in the eyes. 660. 66030. One of my pages fell out of this book, and that's it. That page got a whole lot of use. 660, I think. No, I'm just not there. 66030 is right here. And then the 670 that's going to go with it is going to be over here on the other page too. 670. 67036. Six 67036 is a mama code. 66030 is a child code. We're under two different headings. This one is a removal, and this one is the 6630 is an injection. You can see how this one is a removal and that this code, the 66030 is an introduction, it's an injection. Those two procedures are two separate, distinct procedures. One's a total removal, one's an injection. Yeah, we can build those two together, even if we're doing the same eyeball, but we will need to have the 59 modifier to let them know that we did do actually those two procedures. Now you can add right here into your notes near these codes. Which one am I near? I'm near the 36 code. So we're going to go 67036 with my LT. Then my second code is 66030. We need our 59, then our LT. And our diagnosis is our H44.002. Putting these examples down in your manuals, rewriting them in every section where it's needed. So we're back over here at the 6630. I'm going to say same thing. 67036 can go with my left T, with my second code being 66030 with my 59 with my LT, and then my diagnosis is my H44. You'll eventually write these things over and over again so many times that you'll start seeing patterns. It's always this code with that one. Why could I use these two codes together in this example, but in the new example that we just did, why could we not? What's going on with those two? Why could I not do the 602220 with this one? Knowing that and figuring out that a thyroidectomy already included all the surrounding tissue and everything else, that you couldn't add those two procedures because they're the same procedure. You'll eventually figure all this out. It just takes time and repetition, but don't just do the questions with me. Be sure and think about the headers above these codes. This is an introduction. This is an injection. It can go with the other code, which was a removal. TOMY. You know you're going to be doing a removal or a probe or whatever into that one. So that's why you can add those two. That's why the 59 is on the second code. They're both getting the LTs because you have right and left of the eyes. All super helpful information. By the time you finish filling up this whole book and you've gone through every code, you will start seeing patterns and know when modifiers can be added, can't be added, and you'll be able to eliminate answers with more confidence too. So be sure and go back through these questions and make sure you make notes in your manuals underneath all these codes. Even if it's in the diagnosis code book, I'll go write the CPT codes near the diagnosis ones, and then I'll write the diagnosis ones near the CPT codes. That way I don't have to go look it up. If I happen to see this question again on an exam, I've already got the diagnosis written with the CPT codes and the modifiers. Anyway, I find it helpful to notice patterns by rewriting things. All right, next question has 61796 down for 3 of the answers. What's going on with that code? 617. 61796. What header are we under? We're under stereo. Did we do stereo? We did do stereo. All right. Would we code it by itself, or would we add on additional codes? What did we do today? What's included in this stereo thing? We did our stereo. In our musculoskeletal section, 606. $606.60. Is the application of a stereotactic frame, which is inside that descriptor. Also, our 61800 also has the application of a stereotactic head frame. Which one would you use? Because our musculoskeletal one also says it is for a stereotactic frame. Do you know the difference? This one is not an add-on code, it's a mama code. The 20660, where our 61800 does have the plus symbol in front of it. So if we were going to need to add the 20660, because it is a mama code and it's not an add-on code, it would need to be remarked as a distinct separate procedure, right? But when it's an add-on code, it does not need a modifier, right? Because it's made to go with other codes. We also have a parenthetical down here that says we're supposed to use that code with the other codes. So our answer for this one is B. Yep. There's some rationale there. Yep, it is B. Good job. But going back and looking to see exactly why each wrong answer is wrong is super helpful. We can't use this one. It is a mama code. This one is an add-on code. We do have a parenthetical that says we're supposed to use it with this code. And that's all. They were just checking to see if you know where the parenthetical is, to let you know that you can use that one with that one. That's it. Easy peasy. All right, what have we got here? We're either an H40 or an E10 first. For CPT codes, we have the 70 down twice. Let's go look that one up. 661. $661.70. That is a child code. You can't do much with it. We need to go find its mama code. What code is its mama? 66170. Which code is its mother code? What do you guys think on TikTok? I got 15 of you guys there. How many do I have on YouTube? I got 36 of you guys on YouTube. Thank you for the 21 likes on YouTube. Thank you guys for the 400 taps on TikTok. Let's give out some YouTube memberships. What is our mama code to 66170? Correct, it is Eva. It is 50, 66150, which is a fistulization of the sclera for glaucoma. Brittany, Sarah, Dee, Parson, and Preet all won YouTube memberships. I hope those YouTube memberships give you guys so much help. Having access to all those bonus areas is super helpful. Just the book prep alone, where you can sit here and watch me do my code by code book prep, is super helpful. It's not every code in every section, but it is at least, you know, the first few pages of every section to get you started. You figure it out from there, so super helpful. What did we do today? Our procedure was this. Check and see, is this one? It's 2 pages long. Yeah, 2 pages long. Let me turn off the camera and get that out of your way so you can see it. What's going on in a fistulization of a sclera for glaucoma procedure? What the heck is that? Are we under the correct header? We are anterior and we are excision. If you're looking in your CPT book, the header above even the 66150 says we're anterior and we're doing an excision. My notes for 66170 say there was no previous surgeries. What we're doing for this one is removing part of the meshwork where the sclera meets the iris. It also has this trabeculectomy listed in the 70, which is super helpful. We do have some parentheticals. Seven 2 also has the trabeculectomy in it also. How can you tell if you're a 70 or a 72. And if you can't, the good thing is you do have some differences in modifiers. We do have 2 rights, but the 52 modifier means that we would have done a reduced procedure or something, or stopped, reduce the services. Would we only do half of an initial removal of something in an eye? That just seems unlikely that you could do something like that. The 52 modifier is probably junk. We probably do need the right eye modifier. We are in the right. So I do like D and A. Our 72 means that the patient had previous surgery. This is the patient's initial surgery, so it's super easy. This one's a 70 because it's her initial surgery. If it was 72, it would be a repeat surgery. So underneath the 66172, I have a positive sign, prior surgery, next to that one, so that I know the differences between those 2 codes. Did everybody get D? Howdy, Elizabeth. How are you doing? Good to see you. Everybody get D? We did not pick A because A has a prior surgery listed inside the CPT code descriptor. See where it says previous ocular surgery or trauma. That's why we did not pick A, 72, because this patient, it says right there, is their initial. First time that they're having the surgery. Y'all got it? Yeah. A lot of times it is just a difference between simple little things like that on your certification exam. Okay. Hang with me for just a second. I'm going to skip down to my last question because I want to make sure I get to it while it's on my brain. And we'll go back and do the rest of these other ones on Wednesday. We're going to do 2 more hours of live lessons on Wednesday. And we'll do more of these 6,000s. Let me just get down here to this last question, because this is one I did a lot of research on, and even my notes are wrong on this one, so I want to make sure I go over this one today. All right. All right, we've got 696. 4-1 or 3-1? 696. Six, 9, 6, 4, 1 or 3, 1. I got lots of notes in this area. Lots of notes. 69631 is a mama code. And 41 is a mama code. Great. What's our differences between them? Anybody know your differences between your 69631 and your 69641? What's your one-word difference between those two codes. Steve, did you pass? Where are you at? Where is that message? I just saw somebody say congratulations. Hey, oh. Hey, Meek. Good to see you. Did somebody say Steve passed? Steven, is he on TikTok or is he on YouTube? He's usually on YouTube. Thanks for explaining. You're welcome. What was that? He's on YouTube? Oh my gosh. We were praying for a miracle last night. Where is he at? Where is he at? Where's Steven? Did I miss it? I missed it earlier while I was talking. Did he just post it on YouTube or is it in our chat? Anyway, I hope for sure that Steve did pass because we were thinking about it last night, right? Oh my gosh, it'd be so exciting. All right. What is our one-word difference? Yes, whether we did a mastoidectomy or not. If we are 69631, we did not do a mastoidectomy. If we are a 69641, we did a mastoidectomy. So we did not do a mastoidectomy, so we can get rid of D and B. It's in chat on YouTube. Oh, I'm so excited. I gotta go to YouTube and see. Where are we at? Social media. YouTube. I still don't see it, but I don't know. Maybe I'll see it in a bit. All right. For this question, you need to know what is going on inside a Tympanoplasty and whether or not you can add the operating microscope onto it or not. Inside the CPT descriptor, it's got a list of codes that you cannot use it with, and this particular code, it is not listed there to say that you cannot do it, right? But a Tympanoplasty is already a microsurgery. You have to have a microscope to even do this procedure. You can't do a Tympanoplasty without a microscope anyway, so it's already built into this code, but it is not listed as one of the codes back here that says you can't use it. So you need to know that this is a microsurgery already, that it's already included. And every answer that you find on Quizlet says that C is the answer. But technically A is the answer. So I went to the CMS website, did some digging around, found the correct definition for our Tympanoplasty. It is a microsurgery technique, so it already involves a microscope. And this is a definition of what's going on in there. This paragraph is from CMS. It says that if an ear procedure requires a transcanal or an endooral approach with an incision in the tympanic membrane, you cannot use the 699 separately. And it gave me a few of them. It doesn't say all of them. It says EG, but the 20 is listed there. There's also this from CMS that is just way too small. Internet-only manual, the IOM claims, claims processing manual. It limits the reporting and the use of the operating microscope, the 699.0, to procedures only of these codes. These are the only codes that you can use the microscope with. So I did find that list, which is kind of cool. And of course, our 696 is not listed there. And it says right there that CPT code microscope should not be reported with any other procedures, even if it is used. But it can only go into these. So that's kind of cool. I do have the link right here. I can put this in YouTube chat. So if anybody is on YouTube, yay. Yeah, we did do the microscope, and I've got even more rationale here. Here it says we're not reporting the microscope because it is considered inclusive in ear surgeries. According to the CPT guidelines, the use of the operating microscope is considered inclusive in ear surgeries. Everything from 699.0 through 699.79. I don't know how true that is. I got to go verify from these codes to make sure none of these are ear codes right there, but there's a statement in part of my rationale here. They are referencing this some guidelines that I'm going to show you in just a second, some other links, but they say they're in the guidelines are in the microsurgery section. I'm still trying to find that in our CPT code book, but we do have just a ton of references. I thought I put the links down for the CMS stuff, but I did. In the appropriate magazines where they had it written. Let me see. Do I still have that up? we can. Nope, it's not listed there. Anyway, I just thought it was a really cool question. And I know I've had it wrong in one of my set of notes. This particular set of notes that I'm looking at right now says it already includes 69990. So I already had it written in one of these notes, but I thought for a fact I had it down somewhere that we could use it. See right here down at the very, very bottom, I've got it going with 69631 with the microscope being added to it with the H72. And that's not right, especially when I have it up here that says it's already includes the 699. So, but then I contradict myself and put it with the 699 right down here at the bottom. So, I don't know. I'm only human. But their statement saying that it is included in all ear procedures anyway, that it is inclusive in ear surgeries, all of those surgeries, is a cool statement, but I don't know if that's true or not. I got to go audit that. But we do have this, which is super important from CMS, that I'm going to use to audit it with. But I noticed that AAPC has some articles that they've written, but they put them behind paywalls. It's not even in Codify. If you can use the 699.0, you got to buy a separate thing to see if it's included. This verbiage that I got from the Tympanoplasty and what it's included in is actually in a separate thing that you have to buy from AMA. What do they call that? CPT assistant? Something like that. AMA. So where are we at? If you're going to be like even at Amazon, you're going there to buy the CPT book. Let me just go there and go, let me show you real quick. If you go to the CPT book on Amazon, there's a couple of different versions. There's the $130 version, but the $169 version comes with this CPT Quick Reference app, which is a phone app bundle. If you purchase this, you get access to this app bundle, which is available on your phone. But it's a bit misleading because they tell you that they have the 2024 guidelines and all this other stuff included in this app. But the current version of the app does have all the past code sets from 2018 to 2023, but it only has all the new E&M wizards and any kind of global information, global days, what's included. Any of the RVU codes are only updated through April of 2024. There's nothing since then. So it's not the entire year. Yet. And it says up to 6 years of CPT codes, complete whatever, illustrations, you get CPT Assistant, E&M Wizard, all this other features, but there is not a lot of features on that sucker. Let me show you guys on the app and show you what it looks like. sorry TikTokers, because I got to use this phone. I'll be right back. On the app, let me get the camera going. That app looks like, oops, looks like that thing, the purple CPT, and it says CPT mobile. And Lord, if you got to put in a thing to get access to this thing, it's a pain. But if you're looking at the settings, is it tell me in here my code set year? You can see that they're all blocked and locked, even though I purchased this one for some reason. I don't know what's going on. And if you're going to read these CPT assistants, you got to read them just by month, and they only do 1 or 2 codes per month, and that's a pain in the butt. You can't share them, you can't print them, you can't send them to your phone. And then if you're going to look up a code like our 61631 and hit enter. Oh God, I know it can find it if I just type in the right one. 69631. Hit enter. You can find it there, and then it tells you all the rev codes, whatever, the guidelines. Nothing happens there. Modifiers. It just tells you, yeah, you can use them. Whichever ones you might have done, but that's unhelpful if it gives you 5,000 of them. What a nightmare. But it's got 17 mentions in the CPT Assistant, and then you have to read each one of these to find whatever you're looking for. So in 2012 they wrote an article, but the 2008 one is the one that I found the most helpful. But it's this tiny little article that tells you right there that the Tympanoplasty is a microsurgery. So with that verbiage, I understood that it was, it already includes a microscope. But does it actually tell you whether you can use the microscope or not here? Haven't found it yet, but it does have a ton of references that I can go to, like the American Academy, the Institute of Deafness. It does have a lot of links where it's talking about the tympanoplasty, and it's got the definitions and stuff like that. But anyway, this is not the easiest to deal with, and you can only look at it on your phone. And then if you wanted to send this to yourself, the only way I knew how to do it is to hold down and hit select all, and then copy it, and then open up my email, right? And then email it to myself, you know, create a new email, blah, 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 and then just hit post. Paste it in there. And then I can email it to myself, but that's just, you know, not very helpful. But it is, sorta, but I wish that the app was, I don't know, more user-friendly. That I don't have to go into each one of these things and read the article to read more about the procedure. And the fact that the app hasn't been updated since April, which I found that in here somewhere. And I bought access to the whole thing at some point, but gosh, is it not user-friendly. I don't know. Anyway, that's what that is, and that's how I found some of this information. is to find out it's a microsurgery. And then I emailed it to me and then started going to the links and trying to figure out what was included in some of those surgeries. Let me get the camera out of the way. And go back to aapc will give you access to those CPT articles, but only if you buy something else from them on top of Codify and on top of other things. So, a whole nother thing to buy. All right, those links. But these briefs are going to be something that I can add to our website so that we've got a list of what's going on inside some of these codes. I was doing that today. If you're in my website and you do have the bonus membership area with the practice exam questions, like in the spinal area, where I'm putting these practice exam questions, I've been putting some articles and things here about some of the surgeries. So like CPT code 63075 can be coded with a 22554 and a 22845 and a 20931 if you do this particular surgery. Really kind of cool. Some other cases and positions, and then anatomy, along with the exam questions, so that you can play around and try to see if you can catch the answer correct or whether you've got it wrong. Super helpful. If you do get it right, it'll tell you you're correct. But anyway, that practice area is going to be super helpful once I get it all built up, even more. So I have a lot of space in between the questions because some of them have like really big rationale, and I wanted to make sure we had room for them, and some of them have a little bit of rationale. But anyway, there's everything that we did Sunday is on here. And then I added in some new anatomy here too. So I added more stuff to diagnosis area too. So there's some more sections here in the diagnosis code area too. I think it's right there, right above the arthritis, isn't it? Not sure. Did I put it at the bottom or did I put it at the top? Put it down here at the bottom. These are cool little things that I found about the social determinants of Z codes, when to use them. I thought they were great. They were from CMS, and they did little, I always like to see visuals of things. So anyway, I thought those could be helpful. I added that to the diagnosis code page of practice exam questions so that that's helpful. Don't forget, I do have a new blog up under the blog section where I went over the observations, when to use a 99221 versus a 99234, 235, whatever. So it's got practice exam questions in it too, and this handy dandy chart that if you guys are utilizing the 2023 CPT book, this chart is not in it. It's new for 2025. Be sure to add that to your 2023 book. I put a smaller version of the chart right there. So this is just the part that you need to add to your 2023 books, just in case you guys don't have it. That is super helpful. Anyway, don't forget to check out the blog. It's got lots of free, helpful stuff for you guys too. All right. This question, I guess we're learning that all ear surgeries include microscope already, because they're already microsurgeries. If you're digging in the middle of the ear, back here, you got to have a microscope to look at it. You can't visually look at this, anything that's in the middle ear. Externally, you know those aren't going to be microscope, right? But if we're in the middle ear, you can't get in there and work on nothing unless you have a microscope. So they're already included in the procedure, is the basic gist of this question anyway. So, super cool question. I like that one. And I don't know why I had conflicting information in my notes. This is an older book notes that I was looking at. This is 2022. Maybe I was teaching it with the microscope, and then I learned in 2022 to not put the microscope in on these because I already had the note there, but I forgot that I learned that today. So anyway, super cool. All right, back to some T1s. Some of these get really difficult knowing if you're doing an interspace or if you're doing a level injection. We ran into that last night where we were doing interspaces, but they called it a level. And if we were doing the level, we would have had 2 levels. But if we're doing interspaces, we would have had 3 interspaces. And our question ended up being times 3. So these are always more difficult and something that we need to work on all the time. Knowing whether radiology is already included in these codes is super helpful too. 3 of our answers already have radiology in them. You're very welcome, Go-Kart. I've got to go get Travis. So you guys work on this question. It's already 6 minutes after 6. I got to go run. And you guys, so that is for all inner ear operations. It's already included. Yep. I could definitely see that included. If it's external ear, I don't see the microscope being included in that. But if we're internal, if we're in the middle ear, everything from like 6, 9, 4, 20 on, we're in the middle of the ear, right? That's got to have microsurgery already included in those codes. Got to, right? I'm thinking it does. All right, guys. You guys work on this question. I've got to go run, pick up Travis before I'm late and he has a panic attack. I love you guys. I will see you on Wednesday. We'll pick up where we left off. We've still got a lot more of these back surgeries to do. And I want to make sure we do a thorough job on them. And you guys fully understand when we're counting in between the spinal joints or when we're counting a joint, spinal joint, as one. Like T1 to T3 is just one joint. But if we're talking about in between spaces, that's 2. How do you know what you're doing? So anyway, I will see you guys on Wednesday. I hope this was super helpful. Love you guys. Proud of you guys. I've got tutoring tomorrow and Thursday. Go-Kart, you and I got to get to do another one. I think I'm going to do MK on Wednesday. So let me know what day is best for you and time. Whether it's, whatever. Just send me what time is good for you. And then I'll work around that. I hope this was helpful. Love you guys. I'm proud of you guys. I'm sorry I got to run. We'll work on this one on Wednesday.